Hey guys, JT here. How you doing? Coming to you live today from Honolulu, Hawaii by way of Tokyo, Japan. Just landed. And I wanted to get this video out to you. I decided to wait till Hawaii to do it because I wanted to get into the feel of the ocean and the smell. And I also wanted to talk to you about how do you build local and build global. Instead of trying to go to Japan and build this, find somebody in your local market to build something. That's our strategies that we're going to talk about real quick, is how to build an international market. My 25 years in this industry, one of the goals I wrote down, the very first months I was in this industry, I sat through a training. And one of the things I wrote down was I want to have a big international business. I wanted to make money while I slept. That was one of the things that I had positioned in my mind. I'd seen friends of mine do that, mentors do that. And I wanted to be able to do that inside the network marketing industry. So I got really excited early on in my career about the international markets. Well, here was a few things I didn't understand. I didn't understand that you just jump on a plane and go and try to find people in another country. I didn't understand that. Number two, I didn't understand how expensive it is when you fly to another market, when you stay in nice hotels, when you pick up everybody's meals, when you go to do things international as an international sponsor. You have to know that there's some encumbrances that you're going to face. Now, it's a write-off, it's a tax write-off, but if your business isn't where it needs to be, then that's going to be really hard for you. So one of the things that I would suggest is that you build your local base. You know, you're just getting started, so you get 10 people in your group. Well, ask those 10 people, who do you know in maybe Japan, or who do you know in California, or who do you know in Houston, or who do you know in New York, or who do you know in Miami? Things that you should be doing, asking, is where people are outside your local market while you're building your local market. Now, if you work with those 10 people and 10 turns into 100, now you've got 100 more people that are dialed into what your vision may be. 100 turns into 1,000. Now you've got 1,000 people that you can start saying, make a list of your local people, make a list of your state people, people all around different states around the country. Maybe you say, make your international list. Where do you know people? You know somebody in Canada, you know somebody in Mexico, you know somebody in Asia, you know somebody in South America. You can now start to put together your thought process to that. But you've got to start with getting a few people involved, then building that to 10 or 20, then building that to 100 to 200, and then building that to 1,000 to 2,000. One of the biggest mistakes people have is they just feel like immediately they're going to go out and build an international business. They join a company and they're like, I need to go to Mexico. They're in Mexico. They don't think about the process. Here's one of the big questions a leader will ask you internationally. Where's your check? How much money are you making? That's what they're going to ask you. They're going to ask you about your product. They're going to ask you about your company. They're going to ask you about your management team. But they're evaluating you. I point this right now to you because they're evaluating you. Where's your income? Where's your money at? As well as where's your leverage? Do you have leverage of people that are going to go build in that market that are going to help you? And I say that to you today is one of the big things that you should internalize is don't put the cart before the horse. You've got to go build a business before you can actually step out and be bigger than what you already are. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, come back, come back, come back. Let's get you started correctly. Let's help you get, if you're building a comp plan, let's help you get team 1 and team 2 built, team 3, 4, whatever your comp plan is. Maybe you're a binary. You need to get your first one left, your first one right. Maybe you're a unilevel plan. You've got to build 5 or 6 teams. Let's get that established first before you start to get these grandiose ideas of where you're going and what you're doing. So step 1 is to build local and then think global through this process. And that's going to help you big time. The company's going to have assets and resources and things they're doing, but run your race first. Don't get out there and get caught up in what another leader's doing or another team's doing or another organization. Also, don't compare yourself to maybe somebody that's been in a company for 3, 5, 10 years. Don't do that. Run your race, because that's going to take you into those markets. It's really hard when we first get started in a business, and I'll compare it to sports. Say you were a rookie running back coming into the NFL, and you were to meet maybe your idol. Maybe it's like Emmitt Smith, the running back. Maybe it's Earl Campbell, another famous running back. Jerome Bettis, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, whatever. But you meet that person, and you're in the NFL, and you're getting started, and you haven't even carried the ball one time, but you already think you should be in the Hall of Fame. You already think you should be at Canton, Ohio. You haven't done anything yet. So Start with the basics. Start with getting started. Now have that vision of going into the NFL. Have that vision of being in the Hall of Fame. Have that vision of building a big international team. But come back to earth. Earth called. They want you back. They want you back right here so that you can start to really think about what you want to build a team in the organization. Start local. Build that local. And then grow it. So that's video number 1. I'm going to come back in video number 2 here in just a second and walk you through a little bit deeper into this, a little bit deeper into international and what to expect once you get to an international market. So with that being said, guys, again, we're going to build local. We're going to think global. We're going to do the steps to get there. And I hope you guys are having an awesome day. God bless you.